Okay, welcome back to Western Mike. Welcome to, even though it's the morning, welcome to YouTube tonight. And here's a boy. We have two topics of discussion: alcohol, prolonging sessions. The next topic is going to be narcissists. Other people are not your job. Other people are not your job. We have been discussing the similar topics now for a couple of weeks. It seems as though the same similar themes keep overlapping again and again. It appears that it keeps being the same, just presentation again and again. This seems expected in the Bay Area in Northern California, prone to, would say, some pretty nasty stereotypes. Yeah, racism, sexism, yeah, sure. Why not? But some of the stereotypes around here seem disturbingly true. Went out last night, had a good time, and now back. Got to socialize a bit, and also it was a good time, and didn't last too long, didn't stay out too late, but kind of did a little bit. So this is going into the first topic now. Alcohol, probably the biggest factor for either getting drunk or just staying out too late. Have seen is perhaps simply prolonging sessions, prolonging drinking sessions. This could be it. This is the perhaps biggest factor, biggest problem. The largest challenge is just alcohol is a drug. Alcohol is powerful. Some of you know, some of others of you don't know what you're signing up for. You don't know what you're getting into. Would say, went over a little bit last night, but in total would still say perhaps had 3 glasses total. Okay. Another glass was kind of a lighter beer. Still counts as a drink, but it wasn't necessarily a full, regular glass. Don't think it may have been probably under 5%. And then don't think finished one beer finished another beer though, and think got a second glass of wine, but don't think really remember finishing some of these drinks. So maybe just simply ordered too many glasses at once, and that was maybe a little unnecessary. This is one of my habits of sneaking more unnecessary drinks. This is one thing that I have done wrong in the past. Is wanting to prolong, kind of setting the goal of leaving early, but then, which is so easy. It's easy. If you stick to that goal, it's easy. But then sometimes have merely prolonged my sessions, and that's not as fun. Even on a weekend night, well, that's technically a weeknight too. Friday is technically a weeknight, so that could have been more stress drinking, which I'm concerned about. Believe it or not, weeknight drinking is stress drinking. It's not pleasant. It's it doesn't align with many people's goals. Drinking on a weeknight is a nightmare. So it's not the best. I'm not a fan. Would rather just do it on a day where, yeah, the only times where I've had challenges are the days where really should not have been doing it in the first place. So yeah, if you do it on an occasion that may not make sense or may not make sense for you as much, there's a good chance you're asking for a more difficult session, a more difficult drinking session. Your chances of buying more glasses than necessary that you maybe even wanted will skyrocket, and your determination, no matter how strong it is, to stick to that limit, even because, especially because it's a moderate amount that will decrease drastically. Uh, Alcohol does this. Alcohol does this to anybody. Alcohol does this to everybody. Moderation. Wouldn't say it's impossible per se, but if I may, I would say that moderation on anything besides a weekend is impossible. That's impossible. Weeknight moderation is impossible. May even be impossible on Friday. Friday is probably ground zero for moderation attempts. Why? Well, simple. It's the end. It's the end of the week. Either you're dealing with, you know, a stressful environment around an otherwise pretty straightforward job, or you're, or you perhaps you don't have the job that you want right now. So just saying, maybe drinking should be something that happens on a Saturday instead of a Friday, and maybe not, every single Saturday, because all your obligations are out of the way, and they're just not even in the limelight, unless you have to work on Saturday. So maybe you can drink on a weeknight because you don't have all that stuff, right? Because you don't have all that stuff going on. This is called being scot-free. This is called being scot-free. So I honestly have issues even with Friday night drinking. Even Friday night drinking is kind of even Friday night drinking is kind of tough. Um, yeah, it's still a weeknight. Still just got off work and not even wanting to do it so much after work anymore for some reason. I'm not getting the beer slushy. I'm not getting the fairy beer. No, yeah, it's just the longer you wait, the better it is. Maybe the reason why I only finished 3 full glasses. Let's drink everything, but think the effects would have been so much worse if had all of those glasses. Believe me. So I'm pretty sure that finished only 3 glasses, which was my target, my original target, 2, but a fly flew into 1, so kind of exempted that, and then now it's 3. So, no, yeah, waited until 6 p.m., and that's why that was a little bit easier. So of the full glasses that had really only 3, whereas had started at 2 p.m., might have gone home earlier, but then still might have had more to drink, more total glasses to drink. This is one of my bad habits, is ordering, kind of wasting glasses. I guess perhaps that's bad for the environment, don't know. But ordering more glasses than necessary. So yeah, from now on, just either 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, and then done. Even if, even if you're going to be doing stuff with other people later, you can still say, you know what, I'm good, I'm full. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Or I guess we'll just wait until I'm with people, and then we'll just try to be patient then. So, and then might not. Yeah, that's another challenge. Is had plans last night, so should have been maybe even more patient. Should have maybe even been a little bit more patient. Thank God things got a little cray cray after ordering the 4th glass. Ordered over 4 glasses. Now think ordered at most 6 glasses. 6 glasses, okay. One don't think finished. The other was pretty light, and then did finish that one. So, oh yeah, I think had three or four glasses, but there's a case to be made for 3 glasses. So pretty sure had 3. May have had 4, but pretty sure it could have even been 3. So, which is still pretty reasonable. Yeah, I had a white wine, a pale ale, and then exempting that white wine. So white wine, pale ale, and then not really counting that one because that's pretty light. And then had a craft beer. So yeah, we're good. Had 3. But yeah, I would have stuck to 2 if it weren't for that freaking juice fly in one of my glasses. So yeah, just think about it as glasses. To me, I'm just going to think about it in terms of how many glasses you're having, not even drinks, because that can become a calculation. That's a pain in the rear end. Not going to do that. That's just too much effort. I'm a very lazy person. Sorry, hope I'm not plagiarizing other YouTubers, but I also am a very lazy person. So, as a lazy person, I'm not going to bother with counting how many more drinks can you have, Michael. No, instead I'm just going to count the glasses. And after 3, just stop. Stop after 3. After 3 at most. Yeah, because things got kind of crazy after the 4th glass, even though it didn't really finish it. 4 glasses, not just 4 drinks. 4 glasses is where things start to get maybe not so crazy, but maybe just unnecessary. They're unnecessary, I think, right? 4 glasses, even 3 glasses seems a little unnecessary. They say 1 or 2 drinks. So, and by drinks, I mean glasses. 1 or 2 drinks a day. So then, do you really need a 3rd? Do you really need a 4th? Is it kind of just not necessary? I'm not even going to do this most of the time. It's just you're sitting there and you're not doing anything else. It's very unproductive. It's social, but it's extremely unproductive. And that kind of mobility that you've been building up during the week, it takes a hit. And then you have to find it again. So, yeah, drinking, it's possible, but you have to know and sometimes I break it. So that was an okay night. That wasn't a perfect night. Far from it. But it was still a pretty good night. So it was okay. We'll give myself maybe a grade of a C. Attempted moderation. Wasn't, went over my kind of glass limit. Might not have totally breached that glass limit. May have still had, only a little over 3 glasses. But then again, that was kind of a waste of time and money. And, no, yeah, went to 2 bars, not 1 bar. My goal is just to go to 1 bar. Did that the other night. Even the other night, had a few, but had 3 glasses, not 2. So kind of stretched it a little bit. This is what alcohol does, guys. This is what alcohol does, and this may be what alcohol does every single time. And this may be what more people deal with than you realize. Alcohol, no matter how smart you are, will make you want to have more than you intended. And then you'll think, oh, gee, well, next day thoughts is so that was nice, but some of that was just a waste. All this wasted time and money. A lot of it is stuff you're probably, who knows, perhaps you're not even finishing it. Perhaps you're not even finishing half the stuff you're buying. Maybe it's because you don't like it very much. So, no, yeah, I like it, but I don't like it that much. So, no, yeah, the only reason why I'm really doing it is just to see how moderation works. Possible, but with caveats. So, you can moderate, but it's going to be a little bit blurry. You can moderate, but you're still going to have the same effects the next morning. Bumping into stuff, groggy. So there's no perfect night. There's no such thing as a perfect night. No such thing as a perfect night. If you're going out, you are conceding. You are conceding the possible effects. You are conceding the harsh reality, the truth bomb, if you will, and that is that alcohol has coils. No, that is definitely quoting another YouTuber. This is a cool guy who don't know his name, but he was telling me how to clean my fridge. He was kind of being all fridge coils. So guy was funny. He said you have to clean your fridge every 6 months if you want it to keep on fridging. And by the way, your fridge has coils, quote unquote. Man, some of these Allen Edmonds socks are nice, but one of them already has a hole. Are there any? Maybe a wool sock might be better. Allen Edmonds socks are cool, but their holes. Got some Allen Edmonds socks. Their holes are kind of inevitable. You know, have a new sock here and already have a bit of a hole on it. A brand spanking new sock. Never seen this before in all my years. Uh, in all my years. Just this freaking sock that had to go out and buy yesterday. Have to be all careful with these tall socks. The purpose of these tall socks is so that when I'm at work, I'm not going to be showing my ankles and everything. So I can't be showing all my ankles on the job. That's oh yeah, and plus I'm a dude. So you might think that tall socks are kind of like a not really dude kind of thing. I think it is. I think it is. And it's good to have at least some modesty. So what's the point of the modesty if there's going to be what's the point of the freaking modesty if there's going to be a hole the second that you start wearing the dang thing? So that's what drives me crazy about most socks. Underwear doesn't get holes, and just the toll that underwear gets, the toll that underwear undertakes, day in, weekend, week out. So then, well, what's the story with these socks? Why are these socks so damn, uh, why are these socks so fallible? It's annoying. Why are they so flimsy? It's annoying. It's annoying. I think also there was something psychological about the juice fly in one of the drinks that made me think, with all the stuff that I was dealing with earlier in the day already, and then now have a juice fly flying into my first glass. No, yeah, that may have been that fuck it moment. That may have been, the straw that broke the camel's back. So yeah, that will happen too. For sure, for sure. Is you'll set a limit, but then something may happen, and it could be something minimal. Who knows? But it'll maybe or maybe not. Maybe not. Uh, maybe it'll cause you to. Maybe it'll cause you to. This is all hypothetical. Maybe it'll cause you just to start to waste a bunch of time and money that you said you weren't, that you knew you didn't have to, just because of that one thing. For me, that was that fucking fly in that first glass that otherwise was totally perfect. So it's the fly's fault. I didn't do it. It's the fly's fault. Thanks, fly. You for the free drunk evening. No, yeah, I think just had a white wine, had a pale ale, had a white wine, ordered a small beer, and then ordered one beer, and then ordered one beer. That would be six, but pretty sure didn't finish one beer. No, I don't think remember finishing that one. And then also, not really count. You don't really have to count that beer, and then not really counting that wine. So not really counting that wine, and then that beer kind of goes. into that beer. So yeah, I think it's oh boy, it is such a trip. You're wondering if you drank more than necessary. You're wondering if you, oh gosh, just this whole thing. Not sure this really even matches me personally, matches my values half the time. It's just all this rehearsal, all this fine tuning. Um, it can be a little annoying. Some nights have been spot on, have been perfect, even on a weeknight have been perfect. But it's not worth it. Life doesn't revolve. That's why you see me commuting. That's why you see me, you know, uh, just lounging on my couch. Well, hopefully you don't see me doing that, but you would. Life doesn't revolve around alcohol. No, 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 yeah. Life doesn't revolve around alcohol. Not everything's about drinking. Uh, Guys, this is a drug. You already don't do other drugs, so what's the difference? Just to me, it's really totally not night and day difference. It's kind of the same. Cocaine, heroin, nicotine, coffee, so caffeine. May even avoid some teas sometimes, just because not all, but some tea is a drug. Some things have alcohol, but it's not such a level that even small amounts and you're running into last minute resistance. Okay, when it comes to just making sure you don't cross over the bridge. Don't cross over the bridge, especially the bridges around here half the time, especially after the morning commute. I'm commuting that early so that I can leave early. I'm not trying to be weird or anything. I'm not doing anything psychological. I'm simply going in to the office at that time so that I can come back early. And you'll also see me, uh, wanting to not only commute but and just enjoy my commute. No, yeah, we'll try to enjoy my commute. My commute is quite enjoyable. Just walk up to the bus. Yeah, you don't need alcohol for this. Just walk up to the bus stop and then ride the bus for an hour or so. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit long, but that's okay. You have your meal prep backpack ready to go, and then no, yeah, these shouldn't be alcohol days. Especially you can work the gym into those days, and because you have the gym, are you going to want to have a drink after that? I don't want to know what drinking after the gym is like anymore. Drinking after the gym is impossible. Oh yeah, especially some of your favorite local places are temporarily, or in some cases permanently closed. Still, you're going around everywhere, and it's just this is a bar hopping now. Um, but yeah, that and the gym, it's just have so much stuff going on already, guys. And then just take the ferry back. Taking the ferry back is really nice to do. It's even though it's further away from the house, it's still a nice thing to do. Taking the ferry back is really nice. So yeah, it's a bit more of a commute, but it's definitely worth it. Coming over the road on the way back, that's not worth it. That's not worth it. Even if there's inclement weather, it's not worth it. Would rather get rained on for a while and be totally unpleasant for a minute and maybe have to forfeit some money for a Lyft. Not as big a fan of Uber. I'm a huge fan of Lyft. Um, then then deal with that over the hill traffic coming back, especially in Mill Valley. No, I'm not trying to ding Mill Valley. It's just you guys haven't solved that traffic issue yet. Um, what's wrong with you? So, no, yeah, the Mill Valley over the hill traffic. after work, after the work day, is definitely not worth it. It's definitely not worth it. But then I will get back, and then my commute takes in total maybe 2 or 3 hours tops a day. So already you have the commute, then you have chores to do. That already gets me toward 5 p.m. Most people not even drinking at 5 p.m. So then just later, you see what I'm doing here? I'm focusing on other things so that this isn't at the forefront of my mind. The longer I've waited, the easier it's been. So that night wasn't perfect, but it was way easier. It was way easier, and that's why total glasses finished. I believe was three. Had three. Yeah, cool. Had 3 glasses last night. Might have 2 glasses tonight again, just because I've been a little bit sloppy. So just trying to reinforce good habits. But besides that, I'm hanging out at the house. Even during the weekend, I'm hanging out at the house. I'm not really doing that much. No, yeah, everything is so pricey now these days, guys. Spending $100 is kind of like spending $10. What you thought would be $10, now it's 100. Now it's 100. Easy. It's good to make some trades here. Won't even keep any alcohol in the fridge. That will force me to make the decision to leave my house. And most of the time honestly, I don't always listen, but most of the time I honestly just don't want to leave my house. I like my house. It's enough. It'll do. We'll go out if people want me to go out, but most of the time my natural state, I think, is to not go out. Yeah, my friends had to get me out because before I was not even going out that much. So had an urge to play hooky a lot. Can be a little bit of a slacker. Can be a little bit of a slacker. But then also naturally I'm somebody who just doesn't seek that much, attention, doesn't seek that much time outside. So yeah, here, ask you this. That fridge does not have any beer. What are your plans tonight? How likely is going out versus how likely is staying in? Going out tonight would go kind of against my principles, so might not do it just because of that. Might just feel good about this last night, despite some of the drawbacks that occurred. Would say they're natural. It's totally normal. And that stuff, like with the wasting drinks and with the going to extra places instead of just say, let's just call it a night. That's totally normal. That happens to everybody. You are not alone. So thanks, guys. We will go into an intermission, and that is my lesson for alcohol for this week. It's not going to ever be a perfect night. Alcohol will not ever be a perfect night. So thanks, guys. We'll be back in a second. Okay. And all right, Narcissists, who died and made you the Queen of England? There have been a few incidents lately at McDonald's. Now, easy for you to say, Michael. McDonald's is ground zero for people with all kinds of issues you have nothing, you don't know anything about, you don't understand. Right, but McDonald's is not the only place where I've seen this. McDonald's is merely an example. It's not the end all be all. My concern in public places is that we are dealing with an influx. As things got more challenging, we are now dealing with an influx of a bunch of people who could have been totally fine at any point in their lives, but have turned to narcissistic dark triad or wannabe dark triad tendencies, and now they're going around bossing around everybody else. Don't really understand what's going on here. Pretty much every time in public, and twice now, when have gone to McDonald's, have dealt with or seen customers being bossy to customers, not even to the poor staff, to other customers. I heard one guy say to another guy who was already correcting himself and going up to receive his own order, "That's you." And then there was an old lady with a small dog walking in, and I was finishing my transaction. I made one mistake of putting my card in the wrong way, and she started hassling me, telling me how to do the card and don't forget your receipt. And I had turned my card and placed it back in there, and also the number is on the screen. Why are you going around lecturing people about things they're already fixing? What's going on here? Narcissists, I've seen you do this twice. More times, as a matter of fact, more times. You're correcting other people. You're yelling at people about stuff that they're already fixing. But every time I look at you, I'm wondering, what about your stuff? What about your things? Why aren't you doing that? For what reason? For what good is it that you're detracting from your own stuff? Also, people who seem to want to use the whole small dog excuse, not because they genuinely like small dogs, but because they are trying to use them. And plus, they're doing the whole, even at that age, they're doing the whole, short hair kind of thing, not really showing themselves in a way that's really who they are. And they're going to tell me what, no, yeah, this lady was even saying, and most people get their receipt. I I came here for the fish fillet, not the green beret. Gosh, just I'm really quite shocked. And this lady with her short hair and her small dog is going to lecture me about what most people do. It doesn't pass the smell test. No, yeah, you deal with folk like that in the Bay Area constantly, all the time. Just they get defensive the second that they sense anybody disagreeing with them at all, and then they come down on you. It wasn't even really about the receipt. It was about the fact that I walked one step away from her dog. I was even giving you room, and then you went and came at me like that. Okay, so when these people are doing this, I'll just smile at them. I'm kind of quoting other YouTubers again, but I'll smile at them But really, what I'm thinking is not really smiling. What I'm really thinking is, what are you looking at, you damn bitch? That's what I'm thinking. I'm giving you positive attention on the outside, but what's really going on internally is, what the fuck are you looking at, you stupid punk ass Mark? Get the fuck away from me. That's what I'm thinking. Especially when have been having a rough ass day, rough ass week, and some of you keep trying to cause a scene around me. You keep trying to act like you weren't doing that just then. Yeah, sure. Just eat my ass. They always make it so obvious too. Everything they do, all the things, all their ploys, they make it so obvious. Here's what I think. Here's what I think about the never-ending attempts of the narcissist, um, who thinks that they're kind of getting away with their game, even though, and yeah, the narcissists who think that they're getting away with their game. Here's my take on it. Here's here's my here's my take on them, if you will. No, yeah. Narcissists always think that they're right, but to me, I think narcissists always think that they're not getting caught. Narcissists think that they're right. I say that they are, that they believe that they are, that they want to believe that they are not getting caught. Then when they get caught, they just run away. No, yeah, they don't admit it. They don't apologize. It just they give you the deer look, and then they give you the deer look, and then they run away. But then they show up again the next day. I've been dealing with this a lot. Even if they don't have those traits, it's the way it comes across. It's not what you say, it's the way you say it. It's the way you say it. We have this one driver, think from my neighborhood even. This may be the neighborhood that's been getting publicized recently. One person in my neighborhood in a building with a big dog. It's not a total pain in the ass dog. It's just it gets loud sometimes, and then it's like, dude, that's too much. Here or there it makes sense, but that much, then it's getting annoying. Annoying. But no, yeah, this driver keeps driving past, the high school slowly at 5 in the morning on Doherty Drive, um, driving slowly past me. Also have seen old people kind of hassling other, passengers on my bus, or on the ferry constantly about their bike, even though a lot of people have that bike. Come on, leave people alone. No, yeah, I think we discussed that the other week. No, yeah, it's the same conversation again and again. It's always about the public. But if you notice, the public, it's mostly people not going around telling other people what to do. The public is not mostly people going around telling people what to do. The public is mostly people going around not telling other people what to do. The public is mostly people going around just doing their own thing when they're getting their order. Why do you have to have anything to do with my lunch? With me getting my lunch? McDonald's, I don't care if it's I don't care if it's, just some buffet at a, 2-star motel. Probably still a pretty good buffet. But nobody needs you giving your 2 cents. They're just trying to get some nutrition in for the day. They don't get to have alcohol. They don't get to have alcohol. So they're swapping alcohol literally for a productive day. They're not trying to see how a productive day goes on alcohol. They don't owe alcohol. Alcohol doesn't owe them a perfect weeknight. They, if anything, owe alcohol kind of a perfect week. So they don't really need you critiquing their transactions. I've dealt with this twice from old ladies, by the way. Old ladies seem to be, not all of them, not all of them, and again, it's not so much the old thing. It's kind of the geezer kind of. I've seen two geezers have heckled me about the way I'm purchasing my products, and just no accountability whatsoever. And think even some dude in line was all, sir, she's trying to talk, she's trying to talk to you. So just this turbulent ENTJ stuff going on around me, and I never respond well to that stuff. No, yeah, bossy pants. You might be as annoyed, but you're not more annoyed than me. Bossy pants, bossy pants. What's going on? This is always the same people with the same problems. It's always people who are. It's never people who are my age, or people who understand my age, at least. It's always people who are significantly older than me and who are bitter. And this always seems to pretty much also be my neighborhood. My neighborhood seems to have quite a few bitter folk. There are some cool folk around here, but there are some bitter folk. Some people I understand, but others I'm like, what? Wow, what is your problem? I'm trying. Yeah, again, same thing. I'm literally, and this is the other thing about narcissists, pushing you around is I'm literally going in the opposite direction. I'm not getting into it with you. I'm literally going in the opposite direction, and you're insisting on this shit. It's just it boggles the mind. It boggles the mind. We're creating a society where you can't leave your house. Even just a couple months ago was able to leave, even a year ago, even a couple months ago, was able to leave my house. Would not get a bad vibe from anybody. My commute would be pretty simple. Would not have that stress that would then derail a moderate drinking night after work, even if it didn't have the gym. But now, it just seems that there's a narcissistic influx, and it's hard to do stuff. It's hard to show up now. It's hard to be around now. It's hard to be seen now. Boy, oh boy, being around people has not ever been as tough as at this point. So that's another reason why I'm just naturally I'm a little bit more of a maybe a lot of you think this. I'm naturally a little bit more of a bat than I am a lion. So I like to be a lion, but I'm probably more of a bat. Hate if bats get stuck in my house. That sucks. That's sad. But it happens. Narcissists, who died and made you the Queen of England? Who died and anointed you the Queen of England? That is something my mom said to me. Who died and made you the Queen of England? Other people are not your job. Other customers are not your job. Knock it off. Mind your own business. Maybe you watch the way you're kind of walking on the street, because you're walking slowly every time I'm around you, disregarding the fact that it is a very busy downtown area. It is extremely busy, at least during the week. It's extremely busy, and you're walking slowly, and then you're going to tell other people, maybe not the same people, but it seems to consistently be the same crowd. No, yeah, and that's not just McDonald's. Went to a brewery in San Francisco one time, and I stood at one point in line, where I stood in one particular place in the line for 1 second, and then another customer was all, excuse me, hi, pretending to acknowledge me like I was another human being. ... The line starts back here. Yeah, these people do this shit. I swear. Is it just me, or do these folk kind of walk around blocking the sidewalk on purpose, and then they boss you around in line? Yuppies. Yeah, not yeah, the yuppie geezer, kind of already going, the yuppies kind of already going toward geezer kind of nonsense, kind of moving toward into geezer territory kind of nonsense is that seems to just be the way even San Francisco has to put up with people. Well, there's people, but that's everybody. That's everybody. But it's less of an issue with some people than it is others. It's funny because even Marin County, has some decent folk, and I want to talk to those people. But even San Francisco has some narcissistic nut jobs, and I want to run away from those people before they even pass by me. No, yeah, I swear, have seen them just literally walk into a person as unnecessarily as they're saying to other people, "That's you." Hey, thanks, customer drill sergeant. Came for the fish fillet, not the green beret. Just bossy. What is it? What's the problem? What's the problem? Man, yeah, even San Francisco will have a pretty good attitude, pretty good vibe. Went to one burger place on Columbus Avenue yesterday. It was good. It's just that it seemed that the staff were maybe a little bit overworked, and maybe they were a little annoyed. Maybe not with me, but maybe they were a little bit annoyed in general. Maybe about some of the reception, maybe about some of the clientele they were receiving. So maybe that wasn't about me. Maybe that was about them, what they were dealing with. Because you have to kind of choose in San Francisco between going to a nice place and maybe dealing with less kind of crazy people, or going to a place that's a little bit more affordable, but then you're going to deal with maybe a little bit more crazy people. You'll crazy people everywhere, basically. But the only place in San Francisco you won't deal with quite so many crazy people, quite so many narcissists, quite so many people taking too long with their orders, probably because I don't know, they think they're badass or something. Are those the same kids jumping on cars or saying "fuck you" to mom and dad, or even to other coworkers? Have had that happen to me. We had that discussion. No, yeah, I see people getting annoyed with these people. I don't see people wanting to. I don't see people wanting to party with these people. I don't see people wanting to get drunk. Mm-mm. Especially what's happening to some of our favorite local businesses lately. I don't see people wanting to get drunk with these folk. If anything, what I see is people wanting to avoid these folk. Um, no, yes, and then even just minuscule things, things that probably should not even have any hidden meaning to them, but just, young people struggling to pay on and then holding up the bus. Um, and just talking a little bit too much, kind of disrupting the operator. Yeah, have seen my bus operator kind of have to remind the young people to kind of, he politely told them basically, could you stop talking and sit down? Have other stops to get to. No, yeah, just no clue at all that they're not the only person. That they're not the only, except when somebody does one thing that you like that stands out, or except when somebody's doing something that's the same exact thing you're doing. One fish, two fish, me fish, you fish. Oh my gosh, man. San Francisco, what's going on with you? I like you. But already I have to put a bunch of stuff on the back table, sacrifice it, not even think about it. So why all the bossy stuff? Might just only do things one day a week. Not even bother with, day 4. Just, wait until basically everything is done. Why not just do that? Why not just focus completely on the work week and then just, enjoy yourself? Um, enjoy yourself, maybe at least by lunchtime or after, work when you get done. Yeah, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff because just even on Friday, you're dealing with some crazy fucks. You're dealing with some crazy fucks. And it's hard to be around some people in San Francisco. San Francisco is honestly my favorite city for a number of reasons. But it's tough to be around some of the folk there. Even years ago, one customer butt in at the haircutter place and was literally telling me and my salonist what number hair level I should be. I'm like, I know they're trying to help, but honestly, I'm like, what? And then the first thing out of that guy's face after was a smirk on his face, because it's just that guy could tell that he was being annoying, that he was being what some YouTubers would call a bitch, a bitch. Um, no, yeah, that guy was being a bitch. That guy was being a bitch. All those people are being a bitch. They think they're doing this stuff, and they think they're being friendly and all this stuff, but they're just being an asshole. Those people are assholes. Those people are those yuppies in downtown. I like downtown, but the yuppies, the tech bros in downtown San Francisco are absolute douchebags. Oh my gosh, they're douchebags. They're just biggest assholes you ever met. No, yeah, it's just everything is just very blatant with them. They think that they're above. If you have any kind of feelings about it, you're gonna get laughed at. Yeah, and do you really want some white dude laughing at you? No, no, I don't need some ugly ass. No, I don't need some ugly ass white dude laughing at me um, because I tried to take a stand. So yeah, I'm just not even. I'm gonna try to be like Joe from Looper, and just even if people throwing kids toys at me, I'm just gonna keep on driving. I'm not gonna try to fix. I'm not gonna try to alter whatever happened already happened, and there's no undoing what already happened. If it happened, then how can anything else happen instead of it? Because it already happened. And if something else happened instead of what happened, well, that didn't happen for light years away. So many light years away, you can't even imagine. You can't even imagine. So, um, it's been a pretty good show. We have a couple people tuning in. Leave a comment, subscribe if you dare. Welcome to our show. This is all about the truth bombs of alcohol and narcissism. This is a not so much anti-alcohol, but it's kind of an anti-heavy drinking and narcissism show. Have not always avoided heavy drinking. Last night was that heavy drinking. My from may have. So, excusing that glass because a fly flew into it. So then, kind of again, the white wine, the pale ale. I think the one. Not even gonna really think of that light beer. So then no. So then after that one kind of fruit beer, and then I don't think you finished that one fruit beer. So yeah, honestly, no, no. From total glasses ordered, that may have been, but in terms of was that overall, no, no. Would say that was not last night a heavy drinking episode. No, because the total glasses that finished At most, even if it was 6, that was still only 2 above kind of the recommended daily limits for men, where men, five drinks, and by drinks mean glasses, that would be heavy on any given day. So if you're going to go upper moderate, well, then you can't do it every day. So you're merely just giving up other days if you're going to do upper moderate. That's the beauty of sticking to 2 drinks on any given day, is that you can have more days. You can have more days. Yeah, yeah. Um, so for men, the limit on any given day is 4 total drinks, and by drinks I mean glasses. But really it's 3 or lower, because 4 technically could also be heavy drinking. And you need to believe the advice that is revising it downward, not believing the advice that's revising it upward. No, yeah, you shouldn't listen to anybody telling you do this more or do more of that. Anybody says that to you, no, that's a liar, and that might be somebody who just doesn't have any balls, but acts like they have all the balls. For women, I can't put my finger on it exactly, but really it's 1 drink a day for women, two for men. Upper moderate limits, it's 4 for men a day, and then would think it's either 2 or 3 drinks at most for women a day. So women can drink less than men. Women can't drink as much as men can. So men, that's something to think about when you're on your dates tonight. Is that she showed up even though she can't drink as much as you. She showed up. So just keep that in mind. No, yeah, don't bother with trying to sneak in more than what you intend, or sneak in even more bars than what you intend. Those are things that uh, are still probably my biggest natural own flaws. No, yeah, even that 4th drink didn't even really count as a total drink. And then, so yeah, really, yeah, don't think really, it doesn't really seem like even was heavy drinking. It's just that went to the upper moderate. That was only because of stuff going on. Um, but upper moderate will get you drunk. Will get you drunk. So, and just to let you know, you get drunk, you're gonna, do you want to be drunk and be like the people you're trying to avoid? Or do you want to just get a little bit tipsy? Maybe, you know what? Even if stuff's going on, you just want to get a little bit tipsy, and you like quality conversations. Less is more. Less is more. So, thanks, guys. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. See you in the next video, and talk to you again soon. Thanks. Have a good day. Out. And remember, have five glasses tonight.